I am all set to go, and you are off.
Hi,
Okay.
Ron. We do have the first question, and if I could just add something, it seems like a lot of our questions in the chat are people realizing that a lot of the CAC planning can be formed to their area. If they're in a really rural area, let's say a place where they're going to use apartments for their CAC until something grows. And it's all about their choices. If they choose to do that, it's their CAC as long as it's in the highest interest. And with that, I will go ahead and link to this question. This was from Julie R. CAC question: what population ratio in CAC does Ron think would be appropriate? I live in a town of 8,000 people, and the next town is a half hour away, is 10,000 people. The whole country probably has 60,000 people. So if you subtract, no, I'm sorry, that's a different joke. That was the question, Ron, if that's okay.
Okay. Let's say, um, let me give some real important directions here. You're the one in charge, and you're the one that is entitled to inspiration on what you need to do in that area. We have rural areas, we have suburban areas, we have urban, and there's no one fix all. Maybe in the rural areas, it will be farming and things like that that farmers can help with, and we can help them with the ESS program. I think that CACs in rural areas are going to be very, very beneficial. And then you get into the suburbans, and we'll find the places. They're there. We don't see them now because we're not looking. We have not been looking. Maybe we have, but I've had this thing called Crixie, CRIXI, and they got 15 different places for me to look at, and that comes up every 2 or 3 days. There's people out there who are being prepared because there needs to be a CAC there. And that's us just looking at that and making our decision of what that's what we'd like to do in in those areas that have the buildings already set. Isn't that exciting? Isn't it exciting to be working with God on things? I think it is. So much is going to be taken care of in such a way that we'd have thing, no thing or nothing to worry about. There's no reason for doubts or fears. Let's just let this happen because we're doing the work of the Lord and the Lord is doing marvelous things. And it's not just here in America, my friends. It's not just here in America. It's all over the world. We have people all over the world. I don't know if we have anybody in Timbuktu yet. But if we did, the Alliance would be talking to that person and have a redemption appointment for them. Where is Timbuktu? It's in North Africa, out on the desert, out in the desert. See, we're part of the larger experience of moving into the fifth dimension and creating the golden age of mankind. We're going to have a real fun time doing this. Let's approach it with the reality that God is on our side and is going to inspire us in the right things that we want to have happen for the right purposes. I hope that helps.
Thank you for that, Ron. And we're going to take one question from chat and then we'll go to the raised hands.
Okay.
Just give me a minute to get to Alicia's question. Okay. Not too far up. Okay, here we go, Ron. Okay, her questions states CAC directors will work with governments to establish EAA for essential government workers and first responders. Does that mean the government will sign contracts with managing directors, CAC, for EAA, no matter how big a size of the government entity is? Is there a case that a government would sign contract for the EAA using ESS with LWI?
Well, that's a all-inclusive sort of question, isn't it?
There's still more.
And I appreciate. Oh, more. Okay.
We'll let you answer the first part, and then we can go to the second part.
It's important for us to realize that the governments will not have the money that they've had in the past. We're going to have to be taking over that. In my humble opinion, which is in this case not very humble, the government has overreached. They're not supposed to be involved in these things. Individuals will be building roads. Individuals will go through the planning processes that they need to organize how it's taken care of. Where are we going to have cities? Where we're going to have suburbs? All of these things have been in the hands of those who tax us, take a large percentage of the tax for themselves, and we're the ones that have to end up paying for it. They're out of business because there will be no taxes for that kind of behavior ever again. NESARA does not include all of this stuff that we have called government. NESARA, GESARA, will be governance. And those people will be servants to society. And they won't be telling us what to do, because they have no means of controlling us. Do you understand what I'm saying? I'm not being arrogant and proud. I'm just saying that that kind of government is finished. It didn't work. So we get to change it. And we have the tools. NESARA, GESARA is the new laws of the land. And governments will have to conform to that governance that we are establishing. Now, there's people who might not want to do that. They won't be around. When we go through the light wave, they may not make it through to where they are part of our society anymore. Now, don't ask me how that's going to happen. They tell me stuff because I have a better understanding of the heavens are like. And it's just too hard to tell. I'm sharing this, I'm trying to be prudent in what I share so that it doesn't overload. But be sure that you understand we are in charge of this world. And we will do the things in harmony with the alliance and with Jesus. And I vow to that, because that's what I do. I seek harmony with the alliance and with everything that is going to happen to us. It's going to happen really beautiful. Okay, what was the next part of that question?
Oh,
This is Val.
Yes, sorry about that. I'm getting back to Alicia's third question real quick here.
Okay.
Okay, the last one was, when there are more than one CAC in one city, how do we arrange with each other which CAC will fund EAAs for which government?
That sounds like we need to coordinate, doesn't it? And see, you don't get to be a CAC and, oh, this is our CAC in this city and nobody can come here. No, anybody's welcome to set up a CAC wherever they go. Once you have one there and somebody else wants to do something similar to it in the same location or the same vicinity or the same geographical area, coordination is going to be really good. It's required. You do this and we'll do that. You help with the government and do the employee agreements for the police and the firemen and all that sort of stuff. Somebody else might say, well, we'll buy all of the fire department, fire engines and the fire stations, and we'll be doing that. So it's important that you, without belaboring this, it's important that you coordinate. Pick and choose what you'd like to do. Where's your passion? Where's their passion? Honor those passions and let it happen. That's what I say.
Thank you, Ron. And we will go to Kevin. He has his hand raised. We're going to open your mic, Kevin.
Go ahead, Kevin.
Kevin. There
Okay,
you
I'm here. I'm here.
Well,
Cool.
I'm here. Thank you. Hello, everyone. Hello, Ron, and hello, Mr. and Mrs. Mouse. Hello, Dom, and all the wonderful people at Love One Society. I'm in an airport in Pensacola, Florida. So if you hear some announcements while I'm speaking, that's my excuse, and I'm sticking to it because that's where I am, waiting for a flight back to Toronto.
Okay.
So, my question is, if I were to buy all the banks in Canada and all the real estate, available real estate in Canada, and everyone that came to the bank would have to probably sign up to the QFS because everything would be switched over, and I would have all the available land to help create the new earth in Canada, so to speak. Is that feasible, or?
I would say when you get involved with something and you find out how big it's going to be and how much time it takes to manage it, you might find yourself bigger than you want to be. Buying all the banks, how long do you think it's going to take to buy the banks, if indeed the banks are available to buy? Their assets may be available, but I look at the quantum financial system and I look at what's going on with the banks now. They're looking for people within the bank to establish financial service centers for the banks. And we use our money as what they need for the local people to go in and make loans and all that sort of stuff. And they will have access to our accounts in the quantum financial system. They won't be able to get into it unless we're there. It's just, that's the liveness of what we've got coming. So I don't want to deter your thinking really big, but I want to say, you may be really busy to the point that, oh, this is way too much more than I wanted to get involved with. So you delegate and you do things that way, and then you have more people involved using their heart and using their God-given talents to get things out there. I don't really want to be involved in a bank because I've had no experience with that. But I want to be part of what's going to happen and have the money available for them. So let's let things mature. Let's be available if we're needed and asked to be involved. Because I think that the white hats are knowing what needs to take place. And if we try to outdo them, we can have some headaches for ourselves. So uh, it will grow organically, if you understand that word, and it'll just spread. And we don't need to be in control of it because we can't. We can't control what's going to take place. So we let it be and we do what we feel can support others in the fulfillment of their life experience. And if we do that and have focus on that, then we'll find all kinds of opportunities to serve. And I think that that's true. I hope that helps, Kevin.
Okay, Ron, we're gonna take the next out of chat, and the name is, as best as I can do this, Megrakas Mora says, good evening, Ron. I would like to ask a question regarding opening of a CAC. Can we start an association to begin work with the residents around where we live to later be transformed into a CAC?
Well, I think that I'm not sure what your idea of that an association together to run a CAC than just a structure that we've associated with it. Get a director and that sort of. I'm thinking in my mind, if we have an association, then there's going to be people that we're going to rule over, and I'm not sure that's the way this needs to happen. Maybe an association, or a better word was, you have a director that's in charge of a city, and then he's in charge of the directors in the city, and and can organize what needs to take place. I'm not sure where the advantage, and you can think that out for yourself. I'm just not sure how an organization of some sort would be better than what we've planned to implement the CAC program.
Thank you for that,
That
Ron.
helps.
I'm sure it will. And they can always chat, send us something in addition later today. Okay, we're going to go to raise hands is Judy Shady.
Okay.
Judy, your mic is open.
Hello, team. Thank you for everything. The team in the front and the team in the back that we don't hear from. But I just
Thank
have
you,
a
Judy.
thought. I just have a thought. My brother worked in a position, he was a landscaper. And he worked for a company that had a profit sharing. And, when I hear this word corporation, I know the white hats are doing whatever they need to do. And we're going to pay the mid-management and down, and then the CEOs are going to get paid by the company. But wouldn't it be wonderful that people that worked for a corporation had some profit to take from them too?
Well, it's an idea, and I have no opposition to that, but it's not. You don't take things who are in charge.
It is an idea, and I'm just thrown out there because the alliance is on the phone, and it came across to me, and that's all I want to say. Much love to you all.
Well, thank you, Judy, and the idea is let's inquire about this and see what the heavens have to say about it. That'll be my suggestion. But I sure appreciate your question. Thank you, Judy.
Thank you, Judy.
I love you all from my heart.
Yeah, I appreciate that and feel it, my dear.
Thank you for that question, Judy. Ron, just a quick question. Your voice was rubber banding just a bit. Did you change the position of your phone by chance?
I used earphones in a speaker.
Okay.
Okay. All right. It's not doing it right now. We'll let you know if it starts up again. Okay.
Okay.
The next question we had was from FH-NZ, and I think their hand's been up for quite a while, so they were timed out. I will unmute your mic if you would like to speak. FH-NZ, are you still listening?
Okay. We can go to Dorothea if
Okay.
they're not hearing
FH,
us.
if you'd like to raise your hand again, and we will get you in. Next
Dorothea.
is Dorothea.
There she.
Okay.
We're opening your mic, Dorothea.
Dorothea, your mic's open.
Hello, everyone. How are you all?
Hello.
Good. Dorothy,
you.
how are you?
Welcome.
Thank you. I'm wonderful. I'm going to say this. The CAC for me is a part of creating a lot. So even with me, I will take my notebook and I will take some time and really go and sit and take notes on how I'm planning it. So get the feel of it. What do you want there? Your core values. What do you expect of everyone? That is things that it's needed. So it's for everyone. I can't tell people what to do, but for me, it's working that way to go and take a notebook, sit and plan it out, put the feeling, the color. It's a creative journey to have some fun with it and see where it leads everyone. So for me, put the color in, put the feeling in, put your value cores in. What do you expect people to feel when they walk into your place? The feeling that they need to pick up, the sensation of it. Should it be friendliness, the helpfulness, gratitude, the colors that you put in? For me, it's really a creative journey, and let it be guided by your spirit and also by your counselors that you have. And believe me, they come in and they assist. They are all there just waiting for you to take time, breathe, and let it happen, and be open to just pin it down. That's my feeling about the CAC, and the rest will come.
Yes. Nicely put, Dorothea. Yeah, we can set a standard in how we treat people, and then that will be what they will do for other people. So I think you're right. So good job.
Thank you.
Okay, fantastic. We're moving along. The next question from chat is from Mark A. Green, and he would like to know in regards to signing up people for RSS in remote villages, they would not have ID, and how would we go about that to get them on the program?
So Ron,
Well, it's
before you answer that, I actually released Mark's mic. Mark, if you want to tap your mic and in case you wanted to ask that question yourself, you're open. You can talk.
Yeah, thank you very much, LWS family. I love you all. Brilliant. Yeah, one of my areas of interest are remote islands in the South Pacific. So some of these people are still in the Stone Age, and no ID, no birth certificates, no date of birth, etc., etc. So how do we get them onto the RSS platform, please?
well, you need to start introducing them to things that will be helpful for them in their life. I don't know in remote locations if they have access to the internet. We don't know what's coming. The reason I say that is because the internet, the quantum internet that's coming, it might be all over the world, and we just have to figure out a way to tune into it. And remote locations will have, perhaps will have that opportunity. And it's a learning curve, but it's helping the people to have a perhaps different way of life, uh, to enhance themselves. At least, I don't know that we have what is called uh, a good civilized way of living, especially compared to what's coming. But let's help to share. Let's do the sharing so that people can have a common way of life. We don't want to take away from the good things that they have by introducing our way of doing things. Let's get some counsel from our counselors as we attempt to do this. In my opinion, they will come up with some really good, as you talk with them, as you discuss them with them, you will ask some questions and they will ask you some questions, and you come into a common dialogue that you'll get some greater understanding of how these people would like to have their lives lived, or things that can be introduced to them without taking away their uniqueness as a family, as villages, to where they're living. We want to help, not deter, because maybe their way of life is a lot better than us.
Oh,
Maybe
absolutely.
they don't. Yeah, I was going to say maybe they don't need money.
Oh, absolutely, most definitely. But a lot of these places do need help. They need help yesterday. They need help with medicine. They need help with education. They need help with growing their own food. My dream is each of these places can have their own clean, local industry, growing, building, whatever it is, whatever, so the people can stay in their villages, live their normal life, but trade worldwide and have an income and have access to everything that we have access to.
Yeah, well, I think that that's a wonderful idea, and congratulations on wanting to share with people that have needs in that regard. So, but
But you go, okay.
counsel will be the good thing, and it may be with all of the money that you have, you'll set up things to do or ways to get internet and things like that. If it's appropriate, it can happen. So.
Okay, that's the easy part. The hard part is somebody with no ID, no birth certificate, no nothing. How do they get signed on to the RSS? Please.
Don't they have names?
Some people I've met, they have multiple names.
Yeah, just sign them up that way. And if there's an internet that's associated with it, they can sign up on the website and start downloading to them. Quantum financial system is not going to be a hard thing to do and use. Love One Society will be kind of out there getting people to sign up in the quantum financial system and help with their commerce.
Oh, okay, no, perfect. Yeah, no, that's the main answer is yeah. They can be signed up with the quantum.
Oh yeah,
Perfect.
no, there's nothing to exclude them.
Yeah, going to these places, one will have to be very, very careful because you are going to upset the dynamics of their culture and all that. But they do need help, and it can be done properly, carefully.
Yeah, it can be done appropriately, and as long as you're following conscious and spirit, then the things that you do will bring joy and happiness in a greater sense to them. but
That's our
let's
job.
not look down on let's not look down on them and pretend that we know a better way. We just
Of course
share and
not,
the
Ron.
things, yeah, and
Some
just
of
let
these
them.
people, some of these kids in a remote village, you give them some education, they're going to come up with inventions we've never heard of. There's some brilliant minds out there being wasted.
Yes, well, that's true. Give them an opportunity and let them be the creators that they were born to be.
Yes, sir.
You're right on, brother.
Thank you very much. Thank you all.
You're welcome.
All right, we are going to go next to Raka. We're going to open your mic. Can you hear us?
Hello,
Hi,
Grandpa.
my name is not Graca. It's Grace in English. I'm
Oh, I'm
Portuguese.
so sorry.
I hope you understand me because I have some difficult to speak English. My question is more technical because I don't understand the accounts RSS and CAC. They are, for me, they are different accounts, different money. One account with one money and another account with another money. But I thought Ron said a while ago that we need to have the RSS account to have the CAC. And I was confused.
Well,
Do I make myself understand?
well, let me see if I understand you, Grega. Is it Grega?
Grace can be Grace in English.
Okay, Grace. What language do you speak?
I'm Portuguese. I live in Brazil.
Brazil. Um, have you tried to get? Are you able to get on the internet into our one of our um, uh, the
Chat room.
the Telegram channels that go with Portuguese? And the reason I'm asking that is because they're getting to put most everything that is on the website, our qfs2020.com website. They're translating all of that into the different languages that you can read, and the videos will perhaps be changed as well so that you can understand in your language what's going to take place. And if you haven't joined, I know there's one for Portuguese. Could I be? Am I wrong? Somebody correct me if I'm wrong, but I
No,
think
no,
there's
you're
one.
correct. You're correct.
It's correct. Yes, I'm in the group,
Okay.
but I have some doubts because my health it's not okay, and so I have some difficulties.
Okay. Well, let's just allow things to take place at, at a progressive rate for you that will accommodate your growth and development, because you are precious to the Lord. You are just so precious. And there's
Thank
nothing
you.
that sets you apart from being one of the children of God. So allow yourself to stretch out to that. If you haven't got there yet, stretch out to that. Know how important you really are. You're
Thank you.
unique. You have a uniqueness about you that is personal to you. And that's what you want to find and start sharing with other people. And that will be beautiful, Grace.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Ron, if I could I ask the question that I think that Grace wanted to ask? Because I think it is a good question. Would that be okay? I think
Yes.
she was asking, when it comes to the RSS action plan and the CAC action plan, that there will be different funding for each of those plans, so that there will be a master account for the RSS, but will there be an operating account for the CACs separate from that? I think that's what she was asking.
Well,
It was that.
beautiful, Don.
It was that. Thank you. Thank you, Don.
Yeah.
You're welcome.
The fact is that there will be your master account for the RSS program. And then you as a managing director will start funding your directors and have an account in the quantum financial system that they can use for the things that you want them to do in your CAC. And that's up to you to initiate and to do for the people that you want as directors for you. So you're always in charge of your money. You don't give it away to somebody else. But, you know, my idea with a director in the CAC, let's put a whole bunch of money in an account for him to use, because he's the one that's going to be funding things. He's going to be building this and building that, and whatever the community needs. And so you'll be funding them, and then the director can be the one that shares the money with assistant directors and assigns them specific things to do. It's all going to be set up the way that you want it to function properly. Now, not many of us have had a lot of experience with this, so it's something that you'll have to kind of grow into. Try this, try that, and let people help you with that, and you'll just do a marvelous job, my dear.
Okay, thank you. Good night.
Good night,
Love
Grace.
you all.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Okay, we have Kevin C. We're going to open your mic.
Kevin, your mic is open. Kevin, are you there?
Hello.
There
Hi,
you
Ron.
are.
Hi, Dom. Hi, Mr. and Mrs. Mouse. My question is, Ron can expand further in how we approach funding like the police and the fire department and stuff like that, and how we do it. Do we still have to interact anyway with the current old governments as far as, you know, putting the employees on employment agreement accounts, or whether,
Yeah,
how does the RSS fit into all that?
the fact is that we have to go from where we are to what needs to take place. They're not going to, you know, are you going to buy a fire station or the fire engines? Who do you pay for that? How do you get ownership of that for your firefighters to use? See, the government is getting out of the business of doing things that we can do for ourselves. So we have to honor to some extent what they are and who they are. They don't really understand what we're doing. They don't understand what we are and who we are, and the capacities that we have to do the things that we are suggesting that they do. It's going to be a conversation, and it's probably not just going to be one conversation. You have a liaison that is working with the local governments, and that person is responsible, could be responsible if you assign him that, to act with them, for them, in respects to our position. Now, they may not want to do all that. They may not want us to buy their fire engines and their firehouses or stations. They may not want to do that. But when they can't pay for things, what are they going to do? They're going to come to us. So let's have an open communications as a liaison with those local people. And we have the assets that we can adjust things for them and take it out of their responsibility, because they won't have money to do it. And if we can do that for them and show them that this is the best way to do things, there's nothing that they can argue with because they don't have the money to do it. So when we buy their fire station, their fire engines, their firefighting equipment, where does the money go to? Well, they're going to have to figure that out, because if they can't afford it, what do you want us to do? Wait until you go bankrupt? And these are your assets and we buy at a fire sale? There's got to be some wisdom in how we approach this, because they think they've got everything in hand and can do things. But when then there's no income tax, when there's none of this, all of this other taxing system going on in place, the only tax they're going to get is from sales tax. The only funds they're going to get is from sales tax. And they have to learn how to abide by that. Now, there are those who will be far seeing or far looking and understand what we're trying to accomplish. We're privatizing the things that the government has made a governmental entity. We're privatizing it. If you don't want to do it today, we'll come back next week when they don't have any more money. And when they sell stuff to us, that'll be a little bit of money for them, but they know that there's nothing behind it unless they're going to sell the next fire station and fire engines and the real estate that they're on. These are things that we're going to do, and they will not necessarily be forced to do it. It's just a solution to the problem, because governments have overreached beyond their capacity to function on sales tax, and that's all they're going to get. 14% to the federals or to the country, and 3% for the state, the counties, and the cities. And they can't do it. There's not enough money. There will be, over a period of time, there'll be some extra money because of all of the funds that are coming in as a result of us making funds available in the communities. And for the sales tax to rise up to the point where they can do some of the things. But why would they stay there doing that when it's just money thrown at there? It's money for them, but they're just throwing it away. Why don't you just let us have it? Why don't you just sell it to us? And then you can wrap up your government agencies and your government garbage that they have been perpetrating on us for all of these years. I don't mean to be disrespectful. I don't really mean that at all. But the reality is they're not going to have the funds. Now, in my area, I've already told the Alliance what I'd like to do. I would like to fund as a whatever they have for an annual basis, an annual budget. And we'll pay for that annual budget 100% the first year, and we lower it by 10% every year until the end of 10 years, and then we don't pay them anymore. So in 10 years, they're going to wrap up the government. It's going to be gone. There's nothing they can do about it. Will they fight that? Let them fight. Excuse me. They can't beat us because we have the money to accomplish what we're going to do. If they fight us, then it's just going to be a terrible life for them. But we'll win in the end. So let's just allow whatever takes place to take place to get us in the right position and get them to be in harmony with what is going on. I don't believe the bad people are going to be around. I don't think that they will survive the light wave. And so when that happens, things will just totally change for everything. We'll see how that takes place. I don't know. I don't know how to really think that thing through. I understand what it's going to take place, but I don't know how the ramifications of that are going to take place. So I hope this helps.
Yes, thank you very much, Ron.
You're welcome.
You're welcome.
Okay, Ron, we're going to take 2 more questions, and we're going to go with Cintel first. We're opening your mic.
Until your mic is open.
Yeah. Okay. Good evening. Thank you so much for taking my call. I just wanted to talk about these remote villages. I live in a third world country,
Okay.
and
so-
we do have this similar problem. Somebody speaking anyway,
We
and
find
one of the hello.
Jim, you and your conversation is being spoken. Yeah.
my apologies.
Okay.
We're muted.
Okay.
Okay, so
Go ahead,
it's
Sin.
okay. The name is Serge.
Surge.
Anyway,
Okay.
what I was planning on doing is there's a lot of remote villages with anywhere between 40, 50, and 100 people, and many of those people don't even know their age. And the first thing I think to do would be to bring to those villages the internet and the connection and the contact, so that they can actually at least in a central, what they call the alcalde is like the mayor of the little village. They have a little community, and they can start from there and branching out and develop a way to identify every one of these members by fingerprint and photo associated with a name.
I
So
think
that's
that
just
that's really
my
good. In a respectful sort of way, we can introduce these things,
yes.
and it will be accepted by them if they see some value for themselves in it. If you understand what I'm saying.
Yeah,
Oh, I get to do this. I get to do that. Well, I never thought that possible.
yeah,
And
the
so
younger
they're
people
being
in those
introduced.
villages, yeah, the younger people in those villages, they would really want that.
Uh-huh. Well,
We'll-
therein lies the problem. The parents don't really understand. The children might want to be exploring into this sort of thing.
yeah,
Let's just say that God will be in charge, and their hearts can be changed through the Spirit directing them. Their souls will be giving them the inner guidance. And let's just allow that to be true. And then we go from there. Now, it might
right,
not be obvious to us in the beginning, but it will be obvious as we get into it and start doing the things that we feel are appropriate.
right. All right, thank you so much, Ron. I admire you. I'm with you. I've been with you for over 2 years, and I can't
God bless
wait
you.
to meet face to face and get to work.
Same here. Thank you for your kindness. I appreciate who you are. What a great man.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, Ron, we're going to try for one more last question. Susie Q, your hand was up. If you would like to ask your question, we will unmute you.
Susie Q, your mic is unmuted. Would you like to speak? I think that's it.
I think that's it, Ron. We're concluded for the questions.
Okay.
Okay.
Well, it's been an enjoyable experience for me. I hope it has been for all of us. The CAC is going to be one of the greatest things that's happened to mankind. And isn't it a joy that we're able to be involved in its introduction and the way it's going to implement it for wherever we go. Let's just be sure that we're doing it right and prepare ourselves for this opportunity. Love and blessings to all, and wishing you all the rest of a good night or the rest of a good day, whatever it is. Love you all. We'll say